We do a half hour here on TikTok, and then we move on to the Discord that has a link to a private Zoom for all the bariatric men that want to join. And we talk about stuff that only stays in that chat. So what happens in that Zoom stays in that Zoom.
What happens in the Zoom stays in the Zoom.
If you want to be a part of that, if you are a bariatric male that wants to be a part of that mental health shop talk, hit us up in the DM, shoot us your email address, and we will send you guys a link to that Zoom so it'll be available to you. And look at that. I think
if you want to email us, barrymailexperience@gmail.com, don't hesitate to send us your information. We'll get right back to you.
Hard to see?
Yeah, I think it's a little hard to see. But if you care, you'll look harder. Another thing is, we have some merch in our shop on the bio. Any merch that's purchased for the rest of this month, for the month of June, we are donating to the project, the Trevor Project, in recognition for suicide awareness in the LGBTQAI community. What's up, VSG Titan? How you doing, man? But yeah, let's bring up D. Let's bring the
and don't forget
Big D energy up.
November 7th to the 10th, 100 men for the bariatric retreat with Bariatric Society. We are making a push for that. And don't forget our code BME will get you $25 off.
25. Hey, Jen. Welcome to the live.
All right.
Where's the Big D energy at? I got to have some Big D energy.
I'm telling you, this month we have had some real...
What's up, AJ?
We've had some good titles this month.
I love it, man. Tasty Rainbow. And we got Big D energy coming up to hang out with us. Get fit with D, if Tony can find him. And we'll get going. We'll get to know Big D energy real quick. Are y'all? Can you give me some love or some thumbs up for Big D? Dang, we got the no sleeves going. Hold on.
What's up?
Dude, you know what? We need sleeveless shirts.
I gotta get me one.
I'm telling you, man, I need a sleeveless shirt.
Let me tell you my secret. Hold up.
All right. This man came on the
this pair of scissors in my bathroom, and every shirt I buy, snip. Every single one.
For real, D?
It's an addiction. I'm like, I don't know what I'm gonna do when the winter comes because I have no sleeves left. I cut them all off.
Now is that a button? That's just a button up. You cut the sleeves off.
Yep, I cut it off, and it was just supposed to be for one event, and I started liking it. And I was like, you know what? I kind of like this. So this is like my Saturday shopping outfit. What's up, bestie?
Man, it looks good, man. It looks good.
I joked about this, and I think Shar was in on this conversation. Rab, I know I was talking to you. Why don't we just show up for the bariatric retreat and just go up on stage with sleeveless shirt and tie?
Wow.
I got to get my arms right. I got to get in the gym first. And I got time.
Dude, I got time, right? I'm starting to feel myself with this arm thing. Because the arm's starting to get in that line.
Seriously, D, you work out, right? Now, it is June, the middle of June. If I hit it hard from now till November, can I make a difference?
Absolutely.
As long as you be able to see it.
Consistent, yes. I'll tell you, the gym cycle, as far as muscle growth, what I found is that 3 months of consistency, you'll change what you see in the mirror and what everybody else sees. So 3 months of not focusing on what you see, but focusing on being consistent and showing up and sticking to a routine. You'll get so focused on the routine, one day you're going to look up in the mirror and be like, whoa, there's a lump there that wasn't there before. And then you do it again another 3 months and you'll see even more. So,
but what if I'm just getting into it? What if I'm like, all right, well, I'm not. I used to work out. I know what to do when I go to the gym, but can you work out arms too much? Can you work out legs too much? Do you really have to switch things up?
Yeah, so you want to switch things up. For arms, personally, I do them every other day. Your arms can recover quicker than some of your other bigger muscles. So like back and chest, I usually give myself 3 days in between those. But arms, I do every other day. You'll learn as you start to lift to listen to your body. And so a little bit of soreness where you felt like you did something, that's good. If you feel like you can't even pick up your water bottle, then you probably need to back off just a little bit and allow yourself to heal. Yeah, you don't want to be so sore that any touch and you're screaming like a biatch.
Every day I do. I'm just doing it all.
Yeah.
Every day.
The good thing though is if you're just starting, you can kind of do anything as long as you move. And trainers don't kill me. You have what we call newbie hands. So for the first year, I would say of really getting into lifting, as long as you're consistent, you really can't go wrong. I do recommend get some kind of training program, get a trainer. You can do it online. Get somebody with some kind of know-how because you don't want to waste your time. So you need to focus on form, overweight. Don't try to go out there and lift the heaviest in the gym. I started with my trainer and I went all the way down to 5 pound dumbbells. Like I was embarrassed by the weight that he made me do. But he made me work my way back up so that when I could lift, I really could lift and not just throw weight around because then you'll be wasting time and risking injury. So you want to do it smart.
So take your time, lift the lightweight. Who cares what anybody thinks, says, or
Yep.
whatever? Get past
You
all
want
that.
to get cut? You can get cut. Light weights, more reps.
Yeah, lightweight's more rep. Again, consistency is more important than anything. Don't let anything mess up your routine. If you go to the gym 3 or 4 days a week, 3 or 4 days a week, you're in that gym. I don't care what mama needs. I don't care if the cat needs a shot. They can get it when you're done. Like nothing gets in the way of your routine.
Yeah.
And when I started, like that was the number one thing that I drove into my head is that I was number one. Like my routine came second to nothing. And people in my life, they got in line. They figured out that the gym is not a negotiable.
It's not negotiable. That's awesome. Well, thanks for coming to join us tonight.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks for bringing the big D energy.
Anytime.
Everyone in the comments, thanks for coming to hang out. We're going to have a chat with Get Fit with D. We appreciate all the love in the comments. Please tap Tony's screen, share the live with at least 5 of your friends, show some love. And D, let's get to it, man. So let's talk about this bariatric surgery. Which surgery did you have and why?
I'm happy that you asked the why because
Yeah.
the one that I had, the reason I started with VSG is because I consider that outside of the lap banks, I don't count that. VSG to me is like the baby step into bariatrics because you got VSG, then you have bypass, and then duodenal, and then SATI. And so I was like, I have messed up every single weight loss journey I've ever been on in my life, and why would this one be different? And so I was like, well, I'm going to screw this one up. So let me start where I have somewhere to go when I screw this up. Not if, but when I screw up the VSG. So I started with VSG in my mind that I would fail and need a revision up to bypass. And so that's why I chose VSG.
So, what was your? Why have that impression of I'm gonna? If I fail at this, I'm gonna move on to the next surgery.
Just because I was so used to failing. Like, I had my surgery, I think I was 34. After 30s, I forgot my age. But I think at 34, I had my surgery. So just imagine fighting since I was a kid, up and down the scales. Everything I've ever tried failed, or I failed it. And so why would I think this will work? And so it's just like I had no reason to believe that it would work until I actually woke up and felt it. And I was like, whoa, something is different. Because, when I thought of surgery, I thought it was just, oh, they're just going to restrict my stomach. What I didn't realize is that it would rewire my system, like everything on the inside. And when I woke up feeling completely different. Like up was down, right was left, everything was different. I went to bed, like you could ask me, hey, let's go walk a mile. And I'd be like, get out of my face. I woke up from surgery in the bed and I didn't want to eat. I didn't want to do anything but just get up and walk. I had a weird urge to move and I never felt that before. And that was the first sign that this surgery was more than just, cutting some pieces of your stomach out. It was more than just, oh, you can't eat a lot. This was putting my body to where it should have been the whole time. I just didn't realize that I was broken.
Mm. Um, so we we asked you to come join us on the panel in celebration of Pride Month for our LGBTQAI community. And we were lucky enough to have you agree to come up and talk about your experiences with your journey up until now. And we talked the other day, and you brought up something that resonated with me and Tony a lot, and that was the fact of not only, were you overweight, obese, and having the surgery as a black man, but you are also gay, a gay man. And can you speak about what your journey has been like with that characteristic?
Oh my goodness. I started the journey all at once because I've been gay as long as I can remember. Some people think it's a choice, but I can tell you all the way back in elementary school, I remember my first crushes being guys before I even knew what a crush meant. I was always attracted to boys instead of girls. And so, growing up black, and I consider myself in the darkest shade of black, I already have this pressure from my family and the black church and all this stuff to be hyper masculine and be a certain way. And then, into that, so you grow up and you hear homophobic things said about people and, oh, look at that faggy over here and all these kind of horrible things. So you're like, okay, so I'm already wrong for how I feel. And then I'm already wrong for being way too dark. I call dark burnt toast and all that stuff. And then, you get treated differently. So growing up, I really had nowhere to run to. I had nobody to rely on because everywhere you turn to, you're either getting it from the church, from your family, or from people who are calling you a sissy. So you learn to be strong on your own. And then, when you go through heartaches and start to try and build relationships as a kid or as an adolescence, like where y'all can date and find love early and learn as you grow. If I did that, I had to do it in secret. I didn't have anybody to turn to. If I got my heart broken, I had to just go to my room and cry alone. Like I didn't have anybody to turn to or say, hey, is this how it's supposed to be? So I had to learn from, the internet, people who were way older than me and stuff like that, probably people who I shouldn't have. And so it's one of those things where being black and gay, it affects you from the start. And especially if, you're born in my shade. And then I go out into the world and it's like, okay, I can go and find my tribe. And I get there and then you meet, I call them these bitches, the gay guys in the community. And you realize that some of them can be just as vile as the worst people that you run through in your whole life. And
What'd you call them, D?
Those bitches. These bitches over here, I'm telling you, I'm like, some of them will make you want to pop back and smack them because they got a slick mouth. There's
That's what Chris said, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it is really real. So you'll get guys that are like, oh, no, I'm not into black guys, but it's just my preference. And I'm like, eliminating the whole race isn't a fucking preference. Not wanting ketchup or ranch, that's a preference. Saying that if you're black, I can't date you or like you, that's a prejudice. And so then I had to deal with that. And so it's just like, no matter where you turn to, it's just like, what's that saying from that movie? All my life I had to fight. And it's just like, it is tiring because everywhere you go, you have to fight for your place and fight for acceptance. And then, so dark skin and then fat, I had no chance in hell. It was just like, add the big boy stuff on there. If you do find somebody, it's somebody who fetishizes your size. And so you realize when you date those kind of people that they kind of have a fetish, not an attraction and true love. And then you realize that they're kind of collecting you like Pokemon. And so that's a whole nother heartache. So it's a battle, no matter where you turn.
So when we spoke the other day, you shared with me some stories, and 3 particular stories that really, like, if you're gonna make anyone cry, this is gonna make people cry. You had 3 different experiences of coming out to people, and they were at different stages. I'd just like for you to share those 3 stories if you could.
Sure. So my first coming out, I was in high school. I think I was either a junior or senior, and my best friend in the world, like I don't even call her my best friend anymore. She is just like my soulmate because there's no word in existence that describes what she is to me. Like we have been friends since elementary school. We grew up together, and she is my like first real love. She realized through people whispering and my actions that I was gay. So she made it comfortable for me to come out. She kind of pulled me out of the closet and she was like, are you gay? And at the time I told her I was bi, but eventually it evolved to, I'm fully gay. And she loved me and accepted me and helped me come into my comfort zone. So that was my first coming out. The second one was my mom. After a while, she came over one day, and I probably was about 20 something. And she came over to my apartment at the time, and I finally just got tired of hiding it and told her, I'm gay. I got something to tell you. And her statement is, I know, I've always known, I still love you, but there's one condition. Your grandparents will never accept you. Do not tell them, take it to your grave. Like, don't ever bring anybody around their house. Like, you cannot let them know. They will not accept you. And so I took that as gospel. And so I made up my mind that I would go through my life and never share a part of my life in love with my grandmother, who my mom's mom is that grandmother who I'm most attached to. She is the one who, if she goes from this world, y'all see me jump into the hole with her. Like, I love her that much. And so fast forward, I had met my now husband, but we were engaged back then. And so that's a big step in my life. And I'm like, okay, I'm for real gonna start a whole new life and cut them out of it. So I was prepared to back away from my entire family and say, this is it, I'm done. Cause I choose him over, you guys who won't accept me. And out of the blue, my grandmother called me and she said, son, do you have something to tell me? And I was like, nope. And she was like, are you sure? And I'm like, absolutely not. I have nothing to tell you. Nothing. And she said, grandson, I know. And I knew what she meant when she said, I know. And in that moment, I broke down. I'm talking, a cry so deep, so guttural that there's no sound. I just collapsed because for all my life, I held that in and I was ready to go to my grave, never having the true love of my grandmother who meant the world to me. And I had, it hit me so hard. I literally cried for 3 days because we were in Maryland. So I cried that night, the whole day traveling back to Texas, and then the next day because I had built myself up, prepared to fight, prepared to do everything, prepared to go to war. But I had not for 1 second given her the opportunity to love me. I was not prepared that she just may love me. I was prepared for everything else, for her to hate me, cut me off, anything. But I wasn't prepared for her to say, we still love you. And your granddad's okay. We're fine. And that broke me. Like, even still talking about it today, like I get choked up. And that was 7 years ago. So, yeah, that was my biggest coming out moment. Coming out to her. After that, I was free. I was like, there's no one else left. I don't care what else thinks.
That's a great story, man.
Yeah, she got me. It's hard to get me, but she got me good with that one. I was like, oh. And it's funny. One thing she also did was, when I say I was silently crying, like hand over the mouth, like there's no way she heard me. And she even said, you can stop crying. It's okay. And I'm like, how do you know? She's like, I'm your grandmother. So like, she got me so good.
Yeah. So we talked a little bit. We talked a little bit about you working out when we first started, and of course you got it in your name in your sleeveless shirts over there, and you're ready to kick anybody's ass that has anything to say to you right now. But how did you get into working out, man? How did you get focused? Like, because I'm speaking for me, man. I am having a hard time getting going and getting started. And you said commitment, dedication. How do you do it? Like, how do you go from being someone so used to eating their sorrows away and just being out of shape and just accepting who they are and being just obese to get fit with D?
Yeah. And I'll tell you, by the time I got to surgery, I didn't think it would work, but I wanted it so bad. Like, I could crave it. I went to Mexico because I could not get approved in the United States. I tried 3 times, couldn't get approved. And by luck, I found out about a clinic in Mexico from my former boss. She left and had it and then came back and told me what she did. And at that time, I was on my very last diet. And I said, at this point in my life, I am in sound mind and body, and if I'm ever going to be able to do it, if I can make it stick now, this is it. If not, I'm getting the surgery. Like, I need help. And did that last diet, lost 50 pounds of my own, then gained it back in a month. And I was like, you know what, this is it. Called them, but I scheduled my surgery 6 months out from the date I called. And in that time, I watched every single YouTube video I could, did all the research on my own, did all the mental work on my own, because I didn't have a clinic behind me. And by the time I got the surgery, I wanted it so bad that I said, I'm going to throw everything and the kitchen sink at this, because this is my last chance. Just something in me just said, if I don't get it right now, it's never going to be right. And I'm going to spend my entire life, going from step to step, still failing, the ones that I mentioned earlier. And so, when I woke up from surgery, I said, all right, as soon as I'm cleared to go work out, I made a promise to myself. I said, I don't know what I'm doing. I don't even feel good, because you know how it feels when you wake up and you can't eat. I was like, but I heard that if you do something for 3 weeks, it becomes a habit. And so I was like, I'm just going to go to the gym every single day for 2 hours. No matter what I do, my car and my body will be inside the gym and for 2 hours. And I set my timer. So I did that for 21 days. And I said, okay, I'm going to go balls to the walls out like we all do when we first start a diet and we're motivated. And I'm like, if I just stick to 7 days, eventually you'll ease up on the gas and I'll fall back to maybe 4 or 5 days and have a normal routine. Something in me just clicked. And 7 days became 3 months. 3 months became a year became 2 years. And I just never stopped. And during that journey, I learned so much about what I got wrong, because the biggest thing is I was so upset that I needed surgery. I wanted to know why. What was I doing wrong the whole time? And if I look back, consistency over and over again was the reverting thing. Like, I would go crazy out the gate and then I'd back off. And then I'd become inconsistent, but think that I was giving it my all, but that wasn't. My all, what I thought used to be, was like 40 or 50%. Now I'm at 130%. Like, I'm way too much. And I need to back off a little bit. But it started off, I didn't expect it to do this, but it snowballed into me going pretty much every single day, 2 or 3 times per day. Like, I go before work, I go to work, sometimes I'll work out on my lunch break, and then I'll leave and go see my trainer at night. So, and it's a habit. Now I feel crazy without it.
So
Right.
You talk about that, and when we did speak to you, you talked about your fitness journey is not something to be copied. Can you get into a little bit more detail about that and explain that?
Absolutely. So I lucked into my fitness. Like, I say that I'm the most luckiest crack addict alive. Like, I have an addictive personality, and I kind of use that to my advantage. Also, when I knew I was getting the surgery, so I'm like, if I can steer my addiction to the gym and it catches, I think I can keep this thing going. And so I purposely just made sure that whatever energy that I had that I couldn't put towards food anymore, that I like laser focused that onto the gym. And so I just didn't think it would work, but it did. And so now I'm kind of stuck in this cycle of I can't stop working out. And with fitness, you want to have balance with everything. Like food, we learn balance. But also with fitness, there's a point of no return. Like, so you can go so much and get your gains and get what you need out of the gym, but then there's a point where you go too far. I'm in that too far category. So I don't want people to think that what I'm doing is the only way to success. There are so many ways to be successful with bariatric surgery. You don't need this. You can do 3, 4, 5 days a week and be perfectly healthy and fit. Not just lose weight, be fit and functional without going overboard. Because right now I have injuries that I haven't addressed yet. But because my schedule is so packed, I won't allow myself the grace to pull back and go fix myself up so I can keep going forward. So that's not healthy. So I don't want people to do that. And I don't want people to look at me and think that I'm over here and they're over there because I am so fit. And it's hard to see unless you see me in person or we do a fitness event together. It's hard to see my muscle because I do so much cardio. I kind of eat up a lot of the muscle that I've built. But I'm really, really fit, not to toot my own horn, but I don't want people to think that I can't relate to someone who doesn't go to the gym at all, or, someone who is struggling to go to the gym, because I'm more like you than I'm like the meatheads that I work out with every day. Like, I'm still stuck there. And the skin, every time I see the skin that hides all the hard work that I do, I get stuck back into that cycle of feeling I'm fat, and I go overwork out again, trying to get rid of what I know in my brain I need surgery for, but it's that sick loop that I'm stuck in. So to answer your question again, it's like I don't want people to do it in an unhealthy way. What is the point of being fit if you're unhealthy in the head? Like, choose your mental health first and balance.
Well, that leads us into our halftime show, Tony. Before we go into the next subject, make sure you all drink your water. This is a water check. I'm going with Prime tonight. No, this is not an affiliate. I wish it was. We'd be on TV, but it's not. Make sure you guys are taking your fluids, taking your vitamins and your calcium. And hey, make ProCare your choice. The link is in the bio. BME is the code.
BME 10.
Get 10% off. BME 10.
Energy.
Why not? What'd you say?
I think
since he has the big D energy. That's a good idea. That is a good idea, Tony. That is a great idea. Maria, I was just looking in the in to see who was in the chat, and I didn't see you, and then you came out of nowhere with that. That was great. Shout out to Miss Lady Mia. If y'all aren't following, follow her. She's one of the moderators for our chat. Also, VSG Bestie, our sister chat with Talk Bari to me. Make sure you're following her and watching her every Sunday night at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 7 p.m. Central, 6 p.m. Mountain, and 5 p.m. Pacific. Don't forget, every first Monday of the month, we have Mental Health Shop Talk with not Get Fit, but Fade Away Ryan. We start the first half hour at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on live with TikTok, and then we move into a Zoom chat for men only to share their experiences and what they may be going through individually, and what happens and what we talk about in that live Zoom stays in that Zoom. Yep, that's right, VSG Bestie. As you see in the comments, don't forget that we have a YouTube channel. We can use all the subscriptions we can get, so all the support we can get there as much as we get here, we would highly appreciate it. Don't forget, in the link in the bio, we have a shop. Yes, that's right. BME has merch that's out. We're starting out slowly. We have Pride Month merch there. We have BME merch there. Anything purchased in the merch is donated to the Trevor Project in recognition of suicide prevention in the LGBTQAI community. And if you don't want to get any BME merch, if you follow the Trevor Project in our link and want to donate $1 for the cause, that's just as much appreciated. So again, we thank all of you all. Continue to tap Tony's cap. Go Boston Celtics for the championship win last night. And we'll move on.
Oh, I'm sorry, D.
It's not. I'm a fake Dallas fan anyway. I'm from Baltimore, so I'm like, none of this stuff means anything to me.
No. The Wizards ain't done nothing in years, so it is what it is, man. I'm from DC, so yeah, I'm right there with.
Stay with the Bullets.
Yeah. So, mental health.
Hey, before you get started?
Yeah.
We forgot to do something, and Chris actually called us out on it.
What did he do?
Why is Pride Month celebrated in June?
Hold on a second.
We have the answer. I didn't write it down. And I know we texted it to each other. Graham's looking it up right now.
Just mess up the TV magic, man.
The worst thing about it is we said that we weren't going to forget about it. This is why we texted each other, so we both knew the answer. And neither one of us wrote it down in our notebooks. And I have a notebook here with all my...
I'm going to get me kicked out the gay community. I should know this.
I need to know. I forgot why, and it's really effed up. You know, it really is. And I want to know. Like, I want to look it up and find out. Bestie or Chris, can you share what it is, please? Because it was put in a text and I don't have it, but I really want to share what it is because it's pretty important and it's effed up as far as I'm concerned.
So please, again, humility and, you know, all the humility in the world, teach us, educate us on this stuff. So this is something that the entire community gets together and we all learn together.
Yeah.
I feel like we've a lot of, like, just, we've done a lot of this month.
I couldn't send him an eggplant, so a glizzy will suffice. Yeah. So, along with Pride Month this month, we haven't really touched on it a lot. We have in other lives. I did in a few lives already, and probably half of you have already heard my spew about mental health. But we won't get started on me. But how has your mental health been throughout your journey thus far, D?
It has been eye-opening. You know, I always, before I lost the weight, I kind of put all my hopes and dreams on the other side of the scale. Like, I'm like, if I could only get to a certain size or a certain weight, then I'll be happy. And I raced like hell to get here, and I realized I'm still the same. Like, I still feel the way I did way back when. And so it caused me to kind of start looking inward, where the whole time I was looking outward and trying to put it on. So I'll start with kind of like my personal confidence, because that's a big thing that changes after surgery. So before, all of my confidence came from what I could put on. I was always, even as a big boy, I smelled the best, I dressed the best, I could put that shit on. I knew how to dress for my big body, and I was proud of it. And when I stepped outside, I was the baddest thing walking. But it was all external. You know, if I took all that stuff off, or if my outfit looked a mess, you know, there goes my confidence. And as I started to go through this journey, I realized that, man, I can walk outside in a damn paper bag. I can walk outside in a diaper at this point. I don't give a shit. I'm confident. I'm enough. I wake up enough. So that's the positive part of the mental health journey so far. The negative is, oh my God, the skin. That you would be surprised at the tricks that I use to tuck in my skin. Some people don't think I have it. I'm like, I have it. I have a lot of it. I have my bat wings. So even when I'm lifting in the gym, I'll be doing push-ups and stuff like that, or bench press stuff. And I'll adjust my arms to make sure that my, my bat wings don't flap. I tuck my stomach into my pants. I'll even wear a sports bra. I mean, I'll tell you, I'm straight up with my shit. Like, I'll wear a sports bra to the gym under my sleeveless shirt because I don't want my, orangutan titties, that I call them, hanging out of my shirt as I'm trying to lift. Again, we work hard for this body and to still be held back by that skin. So that the fact that I can't get over that is really bothersome to me. It's not the skin, it's the fact that I can't look at my journey and be proud enough without seeing the skin first. So that's a big thing. Then also, I don't know why I don't take care of myself. Like, I pack my schedule full, but I don't ever take time to deal with what I need emotionally. Like, I feel like sometimes I operate like a robot, and I'm on this train that's go, 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 go all the time that I don't know what it's like to stop or to sit down, and I don't know what am I afraid of? I know I'm afraid of something. I get anxiety from doing it, but I just don't know why I'm so held back from stopping. And so mental health is up and down, but I will say that I'm thankful for the fellas in this community because there are times where I just have a fit and I don't know what to do with myself. And I can reach out to any guy in the DMs and be like, man, I'm going through it. And it's never judgment. I never heard what I've told them said back to me, like through the gossip wheel or anything like that. Like behind the scenes, the guys in this community are so supportive, and it is like a true brotherhood, and it's in real life. Like it's on DMs, it's on TikTok, it's on Instagram, and it's in person, even better in person. Like when we met y'all, I think in Jersey, I mean, it was like brotherhood right away. There was no, oh, y'all stay over there. No, I was like, come on in here.
Yeah.
And then we saw you in Dallas, like brought you along
Yeah.
with everything. Like it is instant brotherhood. So
Yeah.
mental health sucks because I'm so conditioned to be strong in a robot. I don't know how to let go, but I'm happy that when I do crack because I can't hold it anymore, I have people to call me out on it and a place to run to. That makes sense.
Yeah, and I never thought of it by at like that. Like for me, like I'm not at a point where, I have loose skin too, but the loose skin isn't what messes with me mentally. Mine is more because of, you know, personal things like where I am in life, so on and so forth. Um, but I never really thought about, like, how do you see a therapist? And I'm thinking out loud. I'm processing what you said to me. And Tony and I have had conversations about loose skin and whatnot. But how do you see a therapist? And how does a therapist help you deal with, you know, um, body dysmorphia? Like, how does that work? How does that come into play? And I'm not asking you like asking for answers. I'm just like, I just don't understand how a therapist, and I'm not a therapist, so I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I just don't know you know, how you deal with that. Have
And
you
I
thought
do
about
have a
that?
rebuttal to that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So when we did the we had a Dallas meetup here, well the one that you came to. And I don't know if you remember Jason's son, who's like 6'10". I mean, he walks in the room and you look up like huge guy. But he's a therapist. I think he goes on Instagram as the giant therapist. And I talked to him about a few things. We did kind of like a tabletop impromptu therapy session, and something about the way he spoke to me, he cut through everything. Anything that I brought up to him, he cut straight through all of the issues, like the loose skin and all that stuff is kind of filler. He cut to the deeper issue, and he spoke to me in a way that just kind of, I got it. It made so, he left no room for doubt. And it was so calm. It was almost like he hypnotized me. And so in that moment, I finally saw the value in a psychiatrist. I'm like, okay, these guys know what they're doing. Like if I hire a lawyer, I'm not going to ask, well, why are you a lawyer? Do you know what you're doing? Like if they have a good record, I'm gonna trust that they know what they're doing. So it's the same thing with therapists. They know what they're doing and they have ways to get to the main issue that you're facing. But that's something I just found out 2 weeks ago. Because I'm petrified of guns. I'm not anti-gun, but I'm scared to get shot. I'm from Baltimore, and so I've never touched a gun. I don't go near them. But it's big out here in Texas hunting and stuff like that. And even that, he talked to me about gun safety and stuff like that. He disarmed me so quick that I didn't even realize he was like working on me. And so it's a safe place. And if you want one, I would reach out to him and see if he can help you because he is phenomenal. Just in the couple minutes that I talked to him.
That resonates with me because Rab and I have had this conversation. I know I've been transparent about this whole body dysmorphia because the excess skin and it's. I don't have. I scheduled myself for a consultation for plastics, but I'm booked out till January, so I'm not going to see a surgeon till January, and that's just a consultation. But like I hold all of my weight around my waist because that's where a lot of my weight was. And it doesn't matter how much I work out and how much, like how great I feel. There's always that moment of reflection where I'm like walking by the mirror, and it's just there are days where it's just like nothing's working. Like you feel defeated, and it doesn't matter. Like you put on like again, like Rab always talks about frog butt and stuff. doesn't hold my pants up. So if I try to pull my pants up, what's in the way? All the skin that's just overhanging the side of my, holding the belt down instead of pulling it up, and it's defeating and it's disheartening, and you go through periods of feeling like a failure still, and give me a minute.
Yeah, that shit is real in the field.
It is tough, and working out, like, it definitely makes you feel better, and it, like, you build confidence that way. But there's definitely a mental aspect of, you need to realize this going into your journey. And I knew this because this is one of the things that they brought up to me when I met with my therapist the first time I ever met him during my consultations when I was preparing for surgery. Is like, are you prepared for excess skin if you have it? And I said, yes. Not knowing that, because when I lost the first 100 pounds, I was just like, oh, that feels great. And like, I mean, I was still holding on to a lot of weight, but it wasn't sagging the way it was. And it hits a different way when, no matter how much you try to either tuck it into your pants or you try to wear body wear to try to hold it in, and it just doesn't.
It's almost like if it ain't one thing, it's another type deal.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And it's like you start taking on that whole, look what I've done to myself. How could I do this to myself? Yeah. You know what though, Tony? You know what you got to do, and you're doing it. You started doing it. You're in the maintenance. You're hitting it hard. You said, I'm going to get started. You've gotten started for I don't know how many days straight now. You're holding yourself accountable. You're setting yourself up for success so that when January comes around, you're going to hit the ground running and you're going to get it taken care of. And I can't wait to see you succeed, bro. It's going to be freaking awesome to see you smile, man. And I don't even think you're going to smile. I think you're just going to drop to your knees and cry. But either way, I'm going to be right there with you every step of the way, bro. And you're headed in the right direction, point blank. So, I mean, I'm excited for you. I know how much this means to you, man. And I can't wait to see you come out on the other side. So, yeah. It'll be great.
And I'm telling you, like, and I feel your tears. One thing that I do to cope with it is I have been all the way up the scale and all the way back down to my rock bottom weight. And I can tell you from experience, the gym and getting as low as possible won't fix any of it. Like, it is, no matter where I get to in this journey, I look back and I'm like, I'm never happy. I keep moving the goalpost of what I want and where I want to be and what I think happiness looks like. And then, one day, it was probably a month or two ago, I just stopped and I said, I'm never going to be happy. So I have to purposely force myself not to look for happiness in what I see in the mirror and what I think my body looks like. Because even when I get there, I'm not going to be happy. I'm just going to move it. And so it is, we can't get there because it's a thing that doesn't exist. And I work out with legit bodybuilders. Like, I put myself in that environment on purpose. My trainer is a competing bodybuilder, and everybody in the gym are the same. And I'll tell you, inside, some of those people are downright ugly. Like, even them, these people with the bodies of a god and who look like Instagram models in person, they have horrible personalities. They're not loyal. They're catty. And so I had to stop and think, what am I chasing? What am I chasing? And why am I killing myself to get here? And again, I say that and I still do it because I'm stuck in that cycle. But anybody who's on the fence, like, go to the gym because you love yourself. Build a routine because you owe it to yourself to keep a commitment to yourself, not to chase some goal that we're never going to get. I'm telling you now, I know I want skin surgery, but I'm not going to be happy. I'm going to look at those scars and they're going to drive me crazy, and I'm not going to be nipped and tucked enough. I'm already mentally prepared to be miserable after surgery. And I'm gearing my mind up that I'm never gonna be happy with anything as far as this body. I feel like for me personally, I'm too far gone. I've spent my whole life hating my body. I'm proud of my accomplishments, but I just don't think I have the capacity anymore to ever look in the mirror and love what I see, like 100% in that stick. I'm always gonna go back and forth, and so I've accepted it.
Yeah, but I think it's best, if anything, um, and it's easier said than done, is that we get the most we can out of our lives, out of our bodies. And if we're at least doing that, then then we're winning, right? I mean, we've already done whatever damage we've done. It is what it is. We can't get that time back, but we can. We do. I think I've heard someone said, "Hey, you had the surgery, you just added 15 years onto your life." We do have the ability to get up out of bed every day. A lot of people don't. Walk, run, get down, use the rolling machine for your abs, Tony. What? There's some people that can't even do that shit, man. And having the ability to do that, taking advantage of that while we can, and getting moving and working out, walking, taking a walk, whatever we do for activity to keep our bodies moving, we're at least able to do that. But can we do it to, the best of our ability? Like, are we getting the most out of it? And I think truthfully, I can't speak for you two, but I think that is my goal for the rest of my journey, is to try to get the most I can out of my life. Speaking of the goals, D, what are your goals, and what are your objectives? What are you trying to accomplish from here on out?
So my goals, it kind of ties back to mental health. It's funny how all this stuff ties in together.
Mm-hmm.
But another thing where I was purposeful in my mindset was setting my goals not on just a scale, but on what my body could do. And so, like, instead of saying, "Oh, I want to be this weight by this month," I'm like, I want to be able to run 5 miles. I want to be able to, work out for 2 or 3 hours, do high intensity, and keep up with it. And so, like, my goals for this year is there's a competition called High Rocks. So just imagine like a CrossFit, but more cardio. It is like go to the gym, run sprints, and this thing lasts for like 90 minutes. It is all out. You give it all you got. And I've been eyeing this competition for 3 years now. So finally signed up to do it the end of November. And then we have the Dallas Marathon. So I'm going to sign up to do that. And so those are my short-term non-scale goals that I can judge my fitness by. So that gives me something to keep my eye on without always looking in the mirror. So those are goals. And then life goals, because I'm always writing it down and changing it. My big life goal is I just want to give back. Like, even with all the negative, I found so much happiness in this new life that I want to be able to like bring people over to the glory side. Like, I want to get paid by hospitals to take people and be their companion, their health companion. They're not personal trainer, but like their fitness influencer in person, and give this gift of life that we've been given back to people who so desperately need it, who don't know where to go, and so that they don't have to struggle in the dark like we did and try to find our way. So I just want to be like almost like a paid athlete so that I can give my service away to the people who need it. So I've written that down. That's on my vision board. I just don't know how to do it. I'm thinking my next step is to hire someone who's more of a, I guess, a publicist to put me out there because I'm really shy. And so I'll get somewhere and I'm not going to. Believe it or not, I am painfully shy.
Get that impression.
I am so shy. I want more people to reach out and utilize me because I'm sitting here just spinning my wheels. So I'm here. Ask me. Whatever you need, I'm there. If I can, I'll do it. Now, I have a tendency to overload myself, so don't kill me if I don't get back to you. And do not message me on TikTok because I won't see it for a month. Message me on Instagram because I still don't know how to use TikTok. I can't. The messages get I almost missed this live because I missed the message. So yeah.
Hey, how many straight men we got in the comments? Give me a thumbs up if you're a straight man in the comments. I got a question for you. D asked me the other day. Yeah, Chris, we know you're shy. You'll be back up next week. Next week we're gonna have an open panel
For everyone.
um, for everyone, straight, LGBTQA plus I, all that. Amber, you're not a straight guy. This girl, man. So look, the
Really
the
much.
other the other day, D asked me this question. What was the question, D?
So, everybody wants to know how they can be an ally to the LGBTQ, whatever all the letters are. Forgive me, I don't know. But my question in return is, how do we, as gay guys, show you straight guys love and appreciation, hype you up without offending you? Like some of these male transformations, women too, but the male transformations are just like mind blowing, and I have to throttle my response and take a few heat signs off the emojis and change it to muscles just so that I'm not offending people. And I don't want to walk on eggshells, so it's just like, how do I give you compliments, be like, oh my god, dude, you went from not to hot or whatever, is not offensive, without making you feel like I'm trying to, jump in bed with you. So it is a tricky subject, and it leads to me not giving compliments where they're due because I don't want to offend anyone.
And I tell you right now, when he asked me the question, I blushed. Nah,
You
man,
did.
if that mean, yeah, AJ said, see, he's okay with it. I know. I blushed, I smiled, I had a twinkle in my eye and all that. I couldn't believe it.
So, I
I
mean,
love it.
for a lot of people, and I'm not going to speak for all men. So, because honestly, again, if I get a compliment from a guy, I get a compliment from a guy. I'm not offended by that. If I can be attractive to anybody, then that's awesome. I mean, how can anyone not appreciate a compliment? But again, it's the perception of how people don't want to be perceived.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, you honestly, you could always start out, and again, I'm not trying to answer for everyone, but again, you switch from the fire emoji, you switch to the arm emoji, and
Mm-hmm.
once you get to know people, I think and especially like for us, I think you would know that you could probably send us anything. You could send us hearts for crying out loud, and we wouldn't care. And I think you just need to kind of get to know people, and I think it's people feeling comfortable and not feeling that pressure, because again, it's that perception. I know if you're telling us, "Oh my God, you look hot," I'm not taking it like as you're hitting on me.
Mm-hmm.
So it's I think it's just that perception of how people take it, and people are easily triggered this day, and that's everybody. That's not just anyone in a particular community. People are triggered by every little thing.
Nah. If another guy says, "Hey Rab, you're hot," and he says, "Hey Rab, you're hot," that's all right. But if he's like, "Rab, you're hot," and smiles at me, I'm not gonna be offended, but I'm gonna be, my ass might start sweating. I don't know.
So I already told you
The
guys.
sweat.
I already told you guys this story, but for 6 years, when I worked at the hospital, I was hit on by another man. For 6 years, I was invited to Bear Weekend.
I love
Like,
that.
this was like an everyday thing, and it was just the point that he knew that he could joke with me like that because he knew I wouldn't be offended. I would be comfortable enough. He joked about it all the time, and I would tell him, "Oh no, I got plans this weekend," that type of stuff. It just got to that point.
These
And
comments are funny.
Yeah, they are.
but again, it's really you never know who you're talking to and who could be triggered by something. And I don't know. The comments I'm not sure what the comments have been from the other straight men in the comments there, but
They're with it. They're the same
They've been
thing.
really cool.
Yeah.
All right, don't block me when I be like, "Oh, you look good."
Yeah.
So y'all have been warned because I gave y'all a chance.
Yeah. Hey,
seriously, I
D, do
think
you
in
have
this
anything you
community,
want to
I think
plug,
most
D?
of us we like the compliments. So long, no, we weren't we didn't get that type of compliment. So I'll take it from anybody.
I heard your question. I don't have anything I want to plug personally. I just want to say, anyone who feels like my big message is anyone who feels like they can't relate to me and I speak for us, me and my gym bros, because we tag each other every single day and repost each other's story. I promise you, it's not like a members only. You got to have a bicep to join our club. Like, if you need advice, if you want to connect. If you want us to work out, like, join us. The more the merrier. Like, nobody thinks that it's us versus y'all. We're all in this together, because there's some troll on the internet calling all of us cheaters and fat asses and all this other stuff, or loose skin, or that meme. Look how good I look, and her arms flat down. Like, people are gonna talk shit. So we're in this together, and that's my overall message. Like, especially me, I joke, but I'm dead serious. I'm extremely shy. I'm humble. If you meet me in person, I'm probably more quiet than you think. Until you get me going, and I won't shut up. Yeah. But it's we're all cool. Like, it's such a welcoming community everywhere, and I've been all over the country at these meetups. It's so fun.
And you will be at the retreat, right, D?
Yep. I already told my mortgage company you ain't getting no money in November because I'm coming.
Yeah.
Again,
that's right. I cheat again, and I'm not scared. I cut it all out. I cheat, and I want to speak on that. That's the dumbest. I'm gonna get a little vulgar right here. This is the stupidest shit. And it drives me crazy that this narrative that's out here, as people's like, you took the easy way out. What am I supposed to do? That is so stupid.
Why did you get muted?
I don't know.
That's the stupidest shit ever. Hold on, am I back on?
Yeah, you're back.
Okay. So I don't understand, like, if you're fighting for your life, which is what weight is, being overweight is, it's a fight for your life. I'm going to pick up every goddamn thing I have around me and throw it at this. It is stupid to sit somewhere and suffer when there's all these solutions out here to help you. Like, I literally want to fight in every comment. That's when the real me comes out. When I see people talking trash to my very fellow friends, talking about, oh, you should have just, or you could have just. Well, I didn't. I did all that shit and some. Because in this fight for life that we're in, I'm not taking any chances. I'm going to do any and every goddamn thing that I can to win. And we're still fighting this every single day. And don't feel ashamed. Like, right now, I work out all the time, and I just got on GLP-1s. I've been on there for 4 weeks because my head hunger was so out of control. And I was eating everything in sight. And so it's never ending. We will be on this train fighting for our lives for the rest of our lives. And I'm not ashamed of it, and I'm not going to apologize to it. They can kiss my big, flat, wrinkled ass right now. If you think that I'm going to apologize to you for having to do surgery and do what I needed to do to get this weight off. Sorry, that's as vulgar as I'll ever go. Back to the window.
Well, I loved it. So you stay as vulgar as you want to be. And you've been light the whole damn night. I thought you were going to come with it a little bit more than that. But
hey. We can do, I got a whole nother hour. We can do it. We can do the after show if you want.
Yeah, after show.
I just didn't want, TikTok, they'd come and swoop and be like, oops, you can't go live no more. Y'all know how much I struggled just to go live? I had to beg people to follow me just to get over 1,000. I don't want to mess this up.
Yeah. We appreciate all the likes, y'all, and all the support in the comments. Thanks for coming out to hang out with Tony and I. Tony, you want to close it out? Or you got any more questions for D?
I don't. I think he has pretty much covered the gambit. Everything.
Yeah.
Like, I really feel like we really could talk another hour about all this stuff. But I am excited that you are going to go to retreat. I am going to be there one day, and I'll be there for the male panel up on stage. So I'm really excited that I'll be able to get to see you again, and really get a chance to talk to you in person. We didn't get to talk in person long enough in Edison. And those are the things that I really, really wanted to do. And I just wish you always wish there's more time to do stuff.
Absolutely. Every single meetup, I'm like, I wish, because I feel bad. We get such limited time and you're pulled in 50 different directions. So it's like, you don't get time to love on people. Like, my favorite picture is I got one with Selma while we were there. And like, I look at that picture, me and her, and both of our chocolate skin look so good in that sun. I was like,
glistening.
Glistening.
Selma's a beautiful little one too, boy. Aren't you, Selma? Oh man, yeah, that's a good time. I love the meetups, man. I don't ever want to let them go when I'm there, man. And I'm looking so forward to the bariatric retreat, November 7th through the 10th. We're looking for 100 men to show up. We're trying to get at least 100 men to show up. I know at least 5 that are going. I'm almost certain there'll be more, but we're trying to get 100 men to show up. Link is in the bio for more information. Code BME if you want to save $25 on that ticket. Make sure that you tune in every Sunday night with VSG Bestie, our sister chat Talk Buried to Me at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You all know the rest of the times. Don't forget the link in the bio for the Trevor Project in recognition for suicide prevention for the LGBTQAI community. We're looking to get any donations we can, whether that be through BME merch in the shop or if it's just a straight donation to the Trevor Project. That's in the link in our bio. And again, we thank each and every one of you. 45,000 likes. We appreciate all the shares, all the action in the comments. We love all of you back. We can't thank you all enough for the support.
That is 45,000 likes for that Big D energy.
46,000 now for the Big D energy. D, thank you so much for coming to hang out with us again, man. Hope you can come back next week. We're going to have an open panel. It's going to be open.
Yeah, I'll jump on. I'll put it on my calendar. I got y'all on there, so I'll be here.
That'd be awesome.
We'll message you outside of TikTok, too.
All right.
Yeah. I'll be in your DMs. Nah, I can come to your text now.
Oh, yeah, so, you got my text. Look, my DMs are open. Send whatever you want. I mean, if you need some validation, send it.
I appreciate it, bro. I really do. Thank you so much, D. Thank you all. And